Hi class, welcome to our first screencast. This screencast presentation will be about comma rules and comma uses. This is especially important because we are starting our first writer's workshop of the school year, which is on informative writing, but it is very important that you know how to use commas correctly. Comma rules number 1. Oh, before I begin, please make sure that you're taking note in your English journal. You will have an exit ticket at the end. Make sure to make notes about every comma rule, but go ahead and star any comma rules that you did not know before, or maybe you knew but had totally forgotten about. You'll see why at the end. Comma rule number 1. Use a comma to separate items on a list. For example, I need to buy bread, apples, and bananas. Or Julie loves ice cream, books, and kittens. Comma rule number 2. Use a comma to introduce or end a quotation. Now this will be especially helpful when we're writing narratives in quarter 2. And I'll go over this in more depth when I teach you dialogue rules. But here we are. So, examples. I really enjoyed the movie, said John. Terry replied, I hated it. I wanted to point something out here. So, these are called name tags, where it says who said that quotation. So, said John or Terry replied. So if you're going to put the name tag at the end, the comma must go inside the quotation marks. However, if you put the name tag before the quotation mark, then you just put the name tag, comma, and then the quotation. If you knew what was good for you, you'd sit down and finish that essay right now, my roommate said. We're going down to the soup kitchen to help serve dinner, her mother called. Comma rule number 3. Use a comma to separate introductory information from the rest of the sentence. After I finish my homework, I'm going outside to play. Grabbing her umbrella, Kate raced out of the house. Confused by her sister's sudden change in mood, Jill stayed quiet. Rule number 4. Use a comma to separate a transition from the rest of the sentence. So that includes transition words, such as this one, or transition phrases, such as this one. First, I'm going to watch TV. After that, I will do my chores. Comma rule number 5. Use commas to separate an appositive, which is just extra information on the noun of the sentence. So, John, our team leader, will be going over the directions. The appositive here is our team leader, that John is the team leader. That's extra information about John. The painter, one of the city's most promising young artists, began showing his work in galleries before he was 16. The appositive here is this entire thing. One of the city's most promising young artists. That's extra information about the painter. Chocolate, my favorite treat, always makes me feel better after a bad day. Now can you guess which is the appositive in this sentence? If you guess my favorite treat, you are correct. That's extra information about chocolate. Use a comma and a conjunction to separate two sentences. That is, two complete sentences. For example, I love the beauty of winter, comma, but I absolutely despise the snow. Now, if we were to eliminate this conjunction with the comma, you can see that these two sentences can stand alone as a complete sentence. However, if we want to join them, then we would need to add a comma and the appropriate conjunction so that it would make sense. I'll show you this YouTube video in class. Comma rule number 7. Use a comma to separate a city from a state and a year from a date. I visited Panama City Beach, Florida, on March 19th, 2014. On Tuesday, April 13th at 3 o'clock, there will be a meeting for all staff. Please join us on Saturday, June 14th, 2010 for the marriage of Annie and Michael. And the last rule that I want you to make note of is use a comma to separate two more adjectives before a noun, except for colors or numbers. I really hate this hot, humid weather. That is it for comma rules, but let me go ahead and show you what our exit ticket will be and when it will be due and how you will be doing it. So if you go to our Edmodo page, you will see that I have pinned the exit ticket. Before I explain to you, I want to let you know, make you aware that if you happen to click on this Flipgrid link, which was the one we did in class, that's not going to bring you to the correct exit ticket. Every assignment will have a different Flipgrid link. So you will click on here, and I'll show you in a minute. The password is always the same, Dragons1, and this exit ticket is due by Friday, August 9th by the time you come to class. So please, at the very latest, get it done Thursday afternoon. So here's the exit ticket. So what I'm asking you to do is that after watching the screencast, which you're watching right now, and I'm going to link it here once I upload it to YouTube, please visit our Flipgrid page and record a 60-second response, that is 1 minute only, telling me which new comma rules you learned that you didn't know before or had forgotten about. And so if you go here, click on the link, and so it's going to prompt you for the password, which is Dragons1, make sure with capital D. Oops, Dragons1. There we go. Okay, so here we are. You guys are the elephant. Remember, my other class is the turtle. And here's your topic. And it's exactly what I wrote on Edmodo. And I gave you a tip. Write your response before you record it. And you know that you can record as many times as you wish and re-record and then take your selfie and put emojis on it. And just when you're ready to record, you know that you just click this and record your response. It's just 1 minute, and just make sure to answer the prompt, and please use complete sentences. If you have any questions, I can answer them in class throughout the week. Enjoy!